What's up, guys? So today we're doing an EDC update. It has certainly been a while since I've done one of these. And I got two different messages from two different people who probably don't know each other from two different countries this morning, asking when I'm going to do another one. So I figured I'd turn the camera on and do one today. So EDC update. EDC stands for Everyday Carry. If you don't know, this is basically just sharing some of the tools and stuff that I carry on my person every day. Now you guys know, or most of you know, that I have go bags in my vehicle, so if I'm out and about, I have availability to all kinds of things like first aid and bigger flashlights and spare batteries and all kinds of stuff like that. But this is what's actually on me at any given time. And this is always, of course, changing. The knives, flashlight, EDC organizer, even things like the Firearm are swapping. I go between different models, different things all the time. Some things that are constants. The wallet, my wallet hasn't changed for years. I love this saddleback leather wallet. You could find these have been long discontinued, the trifold ones with the strap. But you could find them on eBay. They are quite expensive. I want to say they're like, they're easily over $100, maybe 150 bucks, 200 bucks, something crazy like that. My wife got that for me for Christmas years ago, and I want to say that she paid like 80 bucks or something back then, or maybe even 60 bucks. I don't remember, but now that they're long discontinued, the market is whatever people want for them, basically. But I love it. And to be honest, if something happened to this one, I'd probably move on to something else. But I mean, I've grown so accustomed to it. I really do love it. It's obviously as broken in as it could be. But that's boring, so we're gonna throw that off to the side. And then of course the phone, still rocking an iPhone. This is still the iPhone X, I wanna say. You know what, I don't even remember. How silly is that? I have to kind of check here and see. I always get my wife's hand-me-downs, which is fine. I get her old phone when she upgrades. And I like the technology and stuff. I do love iPhone. I'm a huge fan. Let's see, yes, this is an iPhone X. So, yeah. Anyway, so she's gonna upgrade soon, so I guess I'm gonna get her old one, which I wanna say is like an 11, maybe? I don't really know. Honestly, I don't keep up with this stuff anymore. I used to, around maybe 8 or 9 or something. I kind of knew what was going on with phones. Now I don't care. She hands me the new one. I'm like, okay, how's it? What are the changes? And that's it. And I move on. So using the OtterBox right now, but I am going to switch soon back to my saddleback leather phone cover just because it's slim. It's really slim, great for summer. Summer is definitely here now. It's been hot. And that's also changed my EDC a little bit. Of course, switching over to shorts hasn't really been a big deal because I still wear cargo shorts most of the time. So the difference between whatever's going on with my knee down, that never changes anything. However, going just t-shirts, that does change stuff because, as far as concealability for the Firearm and things, it changes things, which actually we'll talk about right now. So instead of doing inside the waistband, I've been doing a pocket carry with the Glock 43 in this sticky holster. I do like this holster. In the beginning, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it was slick. And I was practicing drawing a lot, and sometimes the entire thing would come out of the pocket as opposed to the gun coming out of the holster, which obviously it's supposed to do. Now, if, in a real situation, I pulled that out of my pocket, to use it, and the holster is still on it. It takes a split second to drop the holster, like literally as I pull it out, I just pop the holster. But of course, that's not ideal. I don't want to do that. So having it broken in now, even when I do, dry practices of drawing it, I don't have it pull out of the pocket, which is good. So it really just needed to be broken in. And, it's kind of like, you can see it's pretty bent from the pocket shape from carrying it all the time. But yeah, I mean, things like this, you really do have to practice and practice and practice so that it does get kind of worn and broken in, so it's going to work properly. But long story short, still rocking the Glock 43, which I love. And it's funny because when the Glock 43X came out, like the 48 and stuff, I kind of said, what's the point of those? But they do have points. And to be honest, these days, I really do want to kind of upgrade to a 43X. Even though I pocket carry this and I haven't had a problem because I'm a bigger dude, I have bigger, deeper pockets on my shorts and pants. And specifically shorts, obviously, that's when I am pocket carrying. But I think I would prefer the higher capacity. I don't think the longer handle is going to change much or the little bit of extra weight. So I kind of want to experiment with that. I don't want to get rid of my 43 though, but I am actively trying to get a 43X. Guns right now, it's not something I'm going to be buying. So, in the future, if I could work out some kind of trade or something with someone who has one, maybe that'll work out. But But yeah, just one of those things. I'm just not in the market to spend extra money on guns when they are extra expensive. So as far as the spare mag goes, because I think you should carry a spare mag, over the years, if you're carrying like a pocket style gun, a lower capacity gun, it's always preference, you know. I've kind of gone back and forth. Well, I don't really need a spare mag. Yeah, I'll carry one. These days, if I have a small gun like that, I always have a spare mag. And it's not necessarily for just the extra ammo. It's because if the magazine fails, which is the weakest part of most guns, then I want to be able to drop that mag and put a new mag in. You know, I don't always have like a backup gun. In fact, in the summer, that's it. In the wintertime, sometimes I'll carry a full-size Glock 19 or something, or, you know, one of my other pistols, and then I will actually have a backup gun, like a little Kel-Tec P3AT or something similar. But yeah, it's not just the idea of having extra ammo, because the likeliness of you getting into a gunfight to begin with is minuscule. But the likeliness that you get into a gunfight and then your gun fails, even smaller, you know what I mean? But if it did, of course you want to have that option. The reason you're carrying it in the first place is because you never know what's going to happen, right? So anyway, the thought process behind this is to have extra rounds, but also I went with Underwood, which has a pretty impressive penetration power. So if I'm some kind of random 1 in a billion chance where I'm in, you know, a defensive situation where I'm trying to fight for my life and someone's hiding behind cover, maybe that can punch through it. That's the idea anyway. But more so, it's just there in case the magazine fails. So anyway, moving on to, let's see, pocket organizer with some goodies in it. These days, I almost always have a pocket organizer. The only exception is if I have some basketball shorts on or something, and I'm just literally running, not to the store, because that's always something I'll prepare for. Like, I don't wear basketball shorts out and about. You know, basketball shorts is like around the house. If I walk around the block, sometimes I'll have a fanny pack, which I will talk about in the future, because I was watching a video on fanny pack reviews and stuff for concealed carry, and ended up getting one, which I like. So we'll talk about that down the road there. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, if I have basketball shorts, I can't load out a bunch of stuff, so I don't have an organizer then. But pretty much every other time I have an organizer, and this just stays in my leg pocket. So here we have a Fisher Space Pen, the Bullet, of course, very popular. I have the Japanese-made, beautiful Douglas lighter, which I am a huge fan of. It's about a $100 lighter, and I like it a lot. And it holds fuel because it's airtight, and even in the button itself, I mean, you have to rotate this. All right, there's an O-ring in there, even just to light it, but it holds fuel a very long time. Way more than, say, like a Zippo or something. I do love my Zippos. You guys know I'm a huge Zippo fan, collector, user. Don't always have a Zippo. When I do have a separate organizer type thing that goes on my belt. So once in a blue moon. I carried it more when I first got it. Now I'm not carrying it as much, but sometimes I will rock a Zippo just because. I will do that specifically if I know I'm going to be around other people. So let's say I'm outside, someone wants to light a cigarette or something. I have a lighter available, and a Zippo is a fun lighter to use for someone else. You can do a little Zippo trick, a little fun little thing there. Just a cool little conversation starter. But anyway, then I have an Olight. This is the i3T, which has the single AAA battery. This one's in that like kind of coyote brown coloration. But I like this particular pocket organizer because it has an open bottom, so I can use the flashlight without taking it out if I need to see something, you know, real quick. So I think it's kind of a cool option. Always have a handkerchief. I have many different handkerchiefs I've gotten from many different places randomly. This one's just a Stars and Stripes, you know, representing America. So, but yeah, I just swap those out. Oftentimes, like this one's all crunched and messed up looking because I forget that I have in my back. I keep these in my back left pocket, and they almost always go through the wash because I just forget about it. So I have to, you know, when I go to take it out to use it, I see that it's all crunched after I use it or whatever. When I get home that particular day, I'll have to specifically take it out to throw it in the wash separate so I can open up and actually clean up really nice. But that is that. As far as my watch goes, still rocking the Seiko. This is the Arnie. This is such a cool watch. I think I showed this in a previous video. I didn't do a video specifically on it yet, but I've been wearing this ever since I got it. I have not switched to any other watch. So here's a quick close-up of that. I do like the fact that it has a little digital readout on top, which is kind of nice. All kinds of features, but one of my favorite parts is that it does have a solar face. This is a commemorative watch for Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I'm a fan of. You know, I mean, a lot of his movies are goofy, especially in the 80s and stuff. He's certainly a character, but I like him. I grew up watching his action films and stuff. He was always a superstar on the screen. And then even before that, just an amazing story. And his entire life story is he's a pretty interesting person, to be honest, and everything he's accomplished. But yeah, a big fan of him. And this exact, well, not the exact one, but the same style watch is what he's used in movies like The Predator, which again, growing up as a kid, these are like, you know, all-time classic movies. And, you know, he wears this watch on and off screen. It's in a bunch of different movies. It's in his personal life. And they came back and did a version to commemorate him, calling it the Arnie. And the difference is this one does have the solar face, so it does you know, charge with light, which is really nice. It just keeps perfect time. It's comfortable to wear. It has a decent presence. You know, I'm a big guy, so I like somewhat bigger watches, and it looks nice. It looks nice to me. It works great, so it's really been a go-to. It's awesome. Only complaint is the little retaining piece here. So obviously, once it's on, the extra little flap that's hanging up, it goes through this bar, and this is a little bit. It's something I have to be conscious of. Let me actually put this through here. I'm trying to squeeze it through the top just to show you, but it's obviously not working very well. So when this is on and through here, this is on the bottom of the wrist. It's actually out here. But keep in mind, I mean, this is a large, flat, has corners, it's stainless steel. This easily scratches things. Okay, so it's something I really just have to be conscious with where I put my hand and arm, that I'm not like, you know, scratching up the car or messing up, you know, someone else's something or other, or leaning against something. So it's just something I have to be aware of. I like it. I like that it's retaining the extra piece there, so it's not like I'm going to take it off. But just one of those things worth mentioning in case you were interested in the watch. So moving on to knives. Knives are my favorite part of these EDC videos. I mean, I like all this stuff. Well, actually, no, before I get to knives, let's talk about the keys. So not quite there yet, but we're going to get there. So here's the key setup. It's been the same for a long time. What I do like about the extra stuff, because I have, extra tools on here. The flashlight, the extra O-light. This is the IR2 EOS. This is a great just little backup light, you know, just in case the battery fails on my other one. Obviously, it's color matching, which is always fun when you can do that. I don't obsess over stuff like that, but it's a bonus that happens to color match. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't get used all that much because my keys now stay in my pocket. If you haven't seen the multiple videos I've done so far, I did buy or finance anyway, a 2019 Dodge Challenger GT, and it does have a keyless entry, which I have to say, it's hard. It would be hard to go back to another vehicle that doesn't have keyless entry because this is really convenient, like extremely convenient. I take these keys, right? After I lock my front door in the morning when I'm leaving, I put these into my cargo pocket pants on the right side and I forget about them. That's it. I don't have to take my keys out for anything. When I actually take my keys out, it's because I'm home now. I need to unlock my front door, or I want to use this blade here, which I really like. And I forget who makes this. This was on a previous video. Got these in, I want to say I got this in a Going Gear, you know, like monthly club. But it's just really nice to have that scalpel edge in case I do some seriously fine cutting. But yeah, besides that, they sit in the pocket, which is awesome. I don't have to touch anything. You go to the car, you know, you can unlock it. I can lock it with the button. I don't have to touch my keys. That is actually like it's a seriously convenient thing. So I love that a lot. I like the keyless entry. So yeah, now that we're done with that, we can talk about these blades finally, which I know you guys are staring at. So the first one, and the most exciting in my opinion, well, they're all exciting, but this is one of the ones I've been waiting for a very long time to get. This is a Bradford Guardian 3, and this one is in M390. It has the textured black G10 handle scales, and it is a really cool knife. I love this knife. I love the sheath, which didn't come with it. It comes with that nice leather sheath, but this was part of a trade. And I like this whole system here. I threw on some paracord. This is, of course, the white paracord with the gray accent color. And that gray is actually reflective. Okay, so there's reflective pieces in here. It feels a little bit more plasticky. It's not as comfortable, but it really does work as far as being reflective. Let me see if I can show you that. I don't know with the light in here, if it's going to, I don't know if it's going to give you the right effect in the screen, but it is reflective. It's totally reflecting back at me. I guess maybe it's the angle. Let me try to put this above the camera. You might be able to see that towards the bottom. But yeah, those gray strips have, you know, white reflective material inside of it. So if I was walking down the road or something, taking a stroll, and for some reason, you know, people can't see me. I don't know. It's just reflective. It's nice. It's a bonus. It's not really serving too much of a purpose. Kind of cool. But anyway, so yeah, I finally have, of course, my Bradford Guardian 3. This is a knife that's just talked about and talked about and talked about. I can't tell you how many people suggested it to me over the year, ever since it came out. Oh, dude, you try the Guardian 3? No, not yet. Oh, it'd be a great neck knife. I'm sure it would. You gotta try it. You gotta try it. Yeah, okay. One day, it was finally offered in a trade, and I jumped on it. I didn't care what the person wanted for it. I was going to get one. And this is actually a fantastic version. I happen to be a huge fan of the M390 itself. I do like the texture scales. I like to maybe get a smooth one to compare, but I really do like this a lot. It's very cool. Previous owner put a very shiny mirror edge, and it's been working out great. I see some of that tape residue and stuff, so I am using it. I am loving it. And I will eventually do a review on it once I have a lot of use. But I like this particular sheath as well with this big old thumb ramp. It just makes it really easy to pop that out. So yeah, that's been my neck knife as of late. I feel like I'm cheating on my cold steels because you guys know I love the Spike, I love the mini tacks, as well as multiple others. Of course, I have, you know, the minimalist, which has always been a fan of the CRKT minimalist, as well as the actual Alan Foltz custom minimalist, which I have one. You know, the LeDuc from Outdoor Edge, that's always been a favorite. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Every now and again, I do actually still have an Evans companion, which was the latest release, but it's such a cool, I mean, it really is a fantastic neck knife, but at this point, it's going into the collectible realm enough where, like, I don't use it as much. I'm trying to keep it a little nice, you know, things like this. Like, I don't beat on it. I'm not like prying open things with it, but I don't care so much if it scratches up. I mean, I want to test and use it. The companion I've used, I've done videos on it, whatever. So at this point, it's almost a collectible, but I do occasionally still carry it and use it because it's just such a fantastic design. It's a shame if it was currently available and in production and everyone had them, I'd be using it. It wouldn't be a big deal. But again, when these knives become so rare and so collectible, it just makes them harder and harder to really just enjoy them. It's like anything in life. Like I said, that $1 million rare car. Is anyone just jumping in it and enjoying it back and forth to work? No, of course not. Some of those people don't even drive those cars. They put them in trailers, they bring them to shows, they bring them back, they pay someone to clean them, polish them, put a cover on them, and they're babied, but they're not actually enjoyed, which is unfortunate. Anyway, moving on. So these two knives have been in rotation. These got the most usage. That's why I'm putting it in this EDC update. However, I probably have 25 different knives that I'm swapping back and forth. I actually have to take notes. When I have so many knives that I'm EDCing and testing, I literally take notes because I want to remember certain things. Like, let's say I'm using a specific knife and I'm like, you know, the pocket clip, maybe this, I have an issue with this or I have an issue with that. I might not remember that when it comes time to do those videos. So I do have to jot down little notes for myself. So here we have the Kancept Sprite. Did a project with this just the other day. I had to rescreen a part of my porch and I had to put on a new porch door and everything. And this was my companion. And it worked out great. Just fantastic knife. Super, super nice looking. Just, I don't know, super classy, very high-end looking. It is a very good quality knife. Totally impressed again with the Kancept brand. You'll probably see a separate video on that in the future. And then the very exciting, extremely impressive HEA design Venom. All right, this is the one. The Venom has the milling in the handle here. This is the blue one. They also make this in gray. And I want to say the other one is the Elixir. I forget. There was the original version. There was two names for that, and then they basically redesigned it, brought it back, and then have two similar names. But this one is the Venom. I have to say this is extremely impressive, just in its quality, regardless of whether you like the design or the look at all, which I do like a lot. And I will definitely do a video on this in the future. This is what I dub the tactical toenail, because it is a modern day, to me anyway, a modern day elephant's toenail. And it is super, super cool. It just, so far, I don't want to give it away, but I don't have any critiques. I mean, if you don't like the look of it, you don't like the blade shape for the need that you have in a knife for cutting, then don't get one. However, if you like the way it looks, I don't really have any critiques yet. I mean, I'm still using it and stuff, but it is just really, really well done in every aspect. So congratulations to them for this release, because it's just a really cool knife. But that's also been in EDC rotation, so I could do a video on it in the future. So that's pretty much it. I've blabbed on, told you about all the kind of crap that I carry. Like I said, there's more knives. I got 4 new Spydercos, and I'm kind of rotating through them a little bit here and there. I did get a new kind of customized Tanto PM2, which is really cool. It's got that Damascus carbon fiber, which just looks really nice. I also got the Spyderco Spidey Chef, which is an interesting knife. I carried that 2 or 3 days. Got some other knives here and there. Got a new cold steel folder. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of knife stuff going on, but I'm showing you these 3 because literally since I got it, it's been on my neck every day, everywhere. And these 2 have the most pocket time in the last probably, I don't know, month or so. So I wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. I mean, like I said, the phone, the wallet, that's boring stuff. The handkerchief is boring. No one cares about that, but it is super, super handy. Keys, boring. I mean, a lot of people have keys, wallet, phone. That triplet is just a staple if you drive. If you drive, you have to have keys, right? If you drive, you also have to have your license, probably have money, maybe a credit card too. You're probably an adult, so you have a wallet to keep all that crap in. Doesn't matter if it's George Costanza dad wallet like I carry, and I love my big, fat, huge wallet, okay, so don't make fun of it. Or you have one of these minimalist wallets that, what's the smallest wallet? I mean, they're getting smaller and smaller. I think there's a new wallet out right now. It's just a string. That's it. They just give you a piece of string, and you just tie all your crap together with it. That's a pretty minimalist wallet. And then phones. Who doesn't have a phone in 2021? It's kind of like having shoes out in public, right? Everyone's got a phone. Doesn't matter if it's an old phone, new phone, big phone, small phone, smartphone, old phone. Doesn't really matter. So those are pretty much staples. It's amazing. I do remember life before the phone. Okay, I remember growing up and no one had phones. Cell phones were not a thing. I mean, it kind of makes me sound old and stuff. Life was different. And, so a lot of older people might say, like, life was so much better, it was so much simpler. Life is never simple. I really want to stress that because I've had these long, deep thoughts about this. And life is never simple. Even when you go back, but way before my time, people went through war. They struggled. I recently I went on a coal mine, so I was thinking a lot about like coal miners and that era and stuff. I mean, people had tough lives. Even if it wasn't as complex as it is today, it was never simple. But today, with all the technology that we have, the internet at our fingertips, I mean, there's so many advantages there, but there's so many disadvantages because so many people do live in the digital world. They never look up to experience life. So at this point in the video, after I've discussed all this wonderful gear, I'm sending a little message to the younger viewers out there, or maybe some of the older viewers that need to hear it. But as much as I want you to spend all day long watching my YouTube videos, because I spend time making them, you shouldn't. You shouldn't watch any YouTube videos. You should definitely get outside. You should go kick a ball, take a drive, take a walk, look at a bird, live life a little bit, And, I know some of the younger kids are like, what are you, my dad? What do you care? Well, I do care. I do care that, our society goes in the right direction. And there's a lot of things. And by the way, this is, personal opinion. Different people of different backgrounds, different ages want to live different lives. They want different things. That's why we're always fighting with each other, constantly. We don't agree with anything because we all want to live a very specific way. And other people don't like that. But regardless of who you are, the color of your skin, what's between your legs, how old you are, where you came from, doesn't really matter. We're all human. We all coexist together, and we should probably get along and just try to be happy. It's really simple stuff. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up in all the little things, and it doesn't really matter. None of it matters. Love the people around you. Love your family. Love your friends. Appreciate them. Tell them you appreciate them. Tell them you love them. Enjoy hobbies, like collecting gear and knives and stuff. What makes this stuff so fun is that it's all usable art. This is usable art. And that's why I like collecting knives, because it's just a fun toy, but I get to actually use it. It's super useful. But getting back to my preachy ending here, I just want to tell all the teenagers out there and stuff, just live a little bit. It's cool. You can play video games, you know what I mean? You can have fun. We all did. I had video games when I was a kid. It was a lot of fun. But I also happened to like walking around the woods with my friends and blowing off fireworks and, kicking things up out of the ground and digging for stuff and you know, going swimming and you know, taking canoe rides and stuff. As I got older, doing like four-wheeling occasionally, and you know, just all kinds of stuff. Just, you got to get outside sometimes, you know. You got to look up from your phone, look up from your tablet and your computers and all that stuff, and just live a little. You know what I mean? Just experience things with other people, because I think that's the biggest issue, really, is that we spend more time communicating with people we can't see and less time actually talking to people in front of us. You know, so, you know, I get it too. For some people, it's hard to make friends in real life. You don't feel like you can relate, but that's okay. I had a ton of friends when I was in school that I did not relate to in any way, shape, or form. But I talked to them. I had conversations. There'd be little jokes here and there. Sometimes it was awkward because, like, you know, there's different people who are into different things. If you're like the football jock, you know, and the goth kids sit next to you, maybe you're not going to be best buddies and stuff, but you can have a normal conversation. You can ask questions. You know, you can communicate with each other. And I think that's something that's just slowly going away. I don't know. Everyone just, it's easier to bury your head in a phone and try to make friends online who are exactly like you. And people are less likely to meet more people and meet different people. And that becomes an issue, because when you just stay in your one little group, you don't get exposed to all the different stuff in life, you know, and all the different things going on. All right, so that's enough rambling. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take it easy.